Hey, welcome to another episode of Old Men Yell at Cloud. Yay! Isn't this fun? Everybody's having a good time? Sure, why the hell not? I am your host this week, Patrick, and I am joined as always by Christopher.
Hello.
And Jim.
I'm the co-host.
Yeah, we are all co-hosts here today. And also very, very happy to introduce our special guest. He is guitarist for Titans of Industry. His name is Mike Becker.
Hello.
How's it going?
Welcome.
It's going great. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks for coming on. I understand this is your first time hearing this album, and I'm happy to show people new music.
Yeah, I dug it. It was cool.
Technically, it's I guess you consider it the first time I've listened to it too, like intentively, because I remember you talking about it after an episode one day, and I threw it on in the truck, and I was driving home, but I wasn't really paying attention because I had people in the car.
Yeah, I first listened to it in 2002.
Well, heck.
Yeah.
Why don't I go ahead and tell the fine people what album we're talking about today?
Do it.
You don't know that they're fine?
Oh yeah, they're real fine. They're probably fine.
They're probably a bunch of fucking incels. That's probably what we're attracting, and we're doing bad things by keeping this podcast going.
I love
sure.
that meme that you posted. It was like 3 white guys with opinions that don't matter. Did we just come up with a podcast?
Oh yes, that is what we do best. Is have fucking opinions that are really pithy. Anyway, we are here talking about Red, the 7th studio album by English progressive rock band King Crimson, released in 1974 by Island Records in the UK and by Atlantic Records in the United States. It was their last studio recording of the 1970s and the last before lead member Robert Fripp temporarily dismembered the group.
They got better.
They dismemberment planned.
Ugh. That's a new spin on Frippertronics.
Oh boy. Robert Fripp temporarily disbanded the group. Though this was their lowest charting album at the time, spending only 1 week in the UK charts, Red has since received lots of critical acclaim. So at this point, King Crimson has kind of gone through a different lineup on every single record since their first one in 1969. At this point, we're kind of at a more minimalist lineup with Robert Fripp on guitar, Bill Bruford, who was the drummer for Yes, on drums, then this dude John Wetton on bass and vocals, and violin player David Cross. So this was on Lark's Tongue and Aspic, which was 2 albums before this, that this lineup came to be. So at this point, we're now in 1974. Tours in 1974 had seen King Crimson's musical approach becoming louder and more brutal, verging on quote-unquote metal in some songs. This shift in approach was primarily driven by bass player John Wetton and drummer Bill Bruford. Guitarist and group leader Robert Fripp once compared their powerful playing to a quote-unquote flying brick wall, which that's an interesting analogy and pretty terrifying.
Yeah, it's like that movie Home Alone, where the bricks are flying through the air.
Yeah, but like we're talking about like a solid piece of wall that's been masoned together.
Yeah, so Kevin's throwing a whole brick wall at Marv, is what you're telling me.
Oh yeah.
No, but he was throwing them one at a time. I think what Fripp's talking about is like
The
a lot
whole
of
wall.
bricks, but they're all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, big old.
Okay.
Kevin
big old
couldn't throw
mess.
a brick wall.
Probably not.
The masonry is intact. It's a solid wall.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good masonry work. Anyway,
And you guys ever do any masonry?
Yeah.
Know about
I've done
it.
a bunch, yeah.
How's it like? Like, I've never really done it.
It's time consuming. We didn't have a cement mixer, so I was like mixing it by hand with a shovel,
Jesus.
in the dirt, and then we built like probably maybe like a 40-foot long wall out of like cinder blocks and mortar.
Jesus, how long did it take you?
Like 8 hours, and there was like 12 of us. Well, we were like in high school, so we weren't like skilled laborers. But I learned how to do it. And like I've done it since then, like on my own. The wall didn't fall down.
It seems like something that would be kind of like weirdly rewarding to do.
It's good. Like you see a wall that you've built. I mean, not to reference any modern politics, but it's satisfying if it unless it falls down. Then you feel bad.
How is the structure that you guys did in high school doing this to this day?
I don't know. I haven't been back there, but I haven't heard about anything going wrong. So
That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, so back on the topic of flying brick wall. So that analogy about the rhythm section, this had the effect of drowning out the violinist that I brought up before, David Cross, not the comedian David Cross. This is a different David Cross. And it led to tension within the band. Deemed not strong enough as a musical personality, Cross was ejected from King Crimson after the end of its tour in summer 1974, reducing the group to the trio of Fripp, Wetton, and Bruford.
Not strong enough, just like Kevin wasn't strong enough to throw the brick wall.
Yeah, he had to do individual bricks.
Yeah.
And I'll bet the same is true of violinist David Cross. He could probably only throw individual bricks. Whereas Bruford and Wetton, you know, they've got a wall.
They're big boys.
They're big boys, yeah.
Yeah, big. They're only, maybe about 5'9", 5'8", but they're super dense.
Yeah, they're real dense. You can't knock them over.
No, they're like a black hole of density.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're down to the trio of Fripp, Wetton, and Bruford at this point. So they began recording Red with the help of some of their former bandmates, Ian McDonald and Mel Collins, both saxophonists.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Now I have to take a shower.
Sexologists.
Saxophonists.
Can I just tell you two weird little things about what you just told us?
Okay.
First off, 1974. You were saying that it was odd that a prog album of 5 songs, like the shortest of which is like 6 minutes long, only charted for a week. You said that as if it was an odd thing.
Well, it was 1974.
Yeah, I feel
Prog
like
was
it's
still
pretty
pretty
pop-
But
popular
no,
at this point.
that's what I'm pointing out. How fucking insane that is by today's standard.
Right.
To
The
think
only
that's
time
like
it was
a
popular.
weird thing. Yeah. And then the other thing, their first album was in '69. You said, and this was in '74. So they did 7 albums in that time.
Oh yeah.
That's absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, that was a kind of big tendency with 70s bands, especially in the early half, where they were cramming, like they were banging out multiple albums a year. Like I think they probably put out 2 or maybe even 3 records in 1970 alone.
It's like that year that Brendan Fraser was in 5 films. I think it was 2013.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Wow, it was that recent.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't even like. See, I was thinking it would be like 92 or something like that.
No, his filmography is pretty interesting because you can tell like when he thinks he's financially comfortable and then when he's probably racked up a little bit of debt.
I wonder what he's worth. I mean, how much do you think he grossed just that year?
I mean, one of the movies that he was in, if I remember correctly, did not even have its own Wikipedia entry.
Okay. All right. What do we think? Brandon Fraser's net worth is? Price is Right rules.
This is a great thing for us to be discussing right now.
Yeah.
I am very into this. I'm going to say 15 mil.
Patrick,
I'm going to say 9.6 mil.
Mike.
I'm gonna go with
$1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 0. I think Brendan Fraser's in debt.
Ooh.
Actually, no, 0. I guess would be over, wouldn't it? If he was negative.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh man,
How bad a debt is he?
I'm gonna go with negative 10 million.
Negative 10 million. Wow.
Damn.
All right. I'm gonna
Been betting
go.
on some ponies, huh?
I'm gonna say.
So is Brendan Fraser, apparently.
You said 15. You said 9.6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying negative 10
saying
million.
negative 10 million.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say 11 million.
Okay.
All right. Here we
Okay.
go. Do 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 do.
The magic of the internet.
Do 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 do.
Do you guys remember when we used to talk about records?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was stupid. This is so much a better use of our time.
The Mummy remains one of my favorite movies.
Oh, Christopher has won
Whoa.
with a net worth of $20 million.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn, he's doing all right.
Good for him.
He's doing all right.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he would be in debt. I think
Looks-
he's pretty responsible.
Looks like shit.
Oh yeah, no, he's
Looks
My
like
goodness.
shit, but he's doing all right.
He looks like
Yeah.
Steven Seagal.
He does.
yeah, he's got the Innsmouth look, like what Lovecraft says, like
Fish people.
yeah, people who are slowly turning into fish monsters, like the in between stage. It's like they have the Innsmouth look, and that's what he's got.
All right, well, Christopher, how you doing, buddy?
You know, I'm doing all right. I left work a little early to get here today, and Jim and I watched a bunch of YouTube videos.
And then I showed up a little bit later than I said I would come.
But it's all right because we had pizza and we had YouTube, so you know
Yeah.
these things work. I'm having an all right day.
I had a
I'm not gonna
Snickers
lie.
bar too.
Oh Jesus! Well,
I'm not myself when I don't have my Snickers.
I was going to say your hunger must be 100% satisfied now.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling good.
Yeah. Why even bother eating any other food? Just eat Snickers bars.
I would.
How quickly do you think you would die from something, some kind of complication of that?
I don't know. They've got protein. They got sugars. They got.
The big two.
I mean, I think
You
you'd
can
be
get
all
pretty far
right.
on protein and sugar.
Yeah, I think you just get diabetes, and that would kill you. But you
No,
know.
you would definitely have some sort of malnutrition because you wouldn't have like any vitamin. You'd
Yeah,
probably
you know-
get like scurvy.
Yeah, you would wouldn't have vitamin C.
Yeah, you could get scurvy from that diet.
All right, so dunk it in OJ, and let's call it a day. That's pretty good. What was your favorite song?
My favorite song was "One More Red Nightmare." Yeah, it's just that song. It's the first King Crimson song I ever heard. My guitar teacher showed it to me back when I was like 17 or 18. I got huge into it, fucking loved it, and yeah, just from that intro fucking riff to Bruford's second verse, like little stops that he does like right before the second verse. Yeah, it's fucking great. And if you ask me, this song in particular is probably Bruford's finest hour. Like he's done things that are crazier, but this is him absolutely 100% serving a song and not going outside of that realm, but still getting to be a fucking lunatic.
I would say that this and like his opening beat in Heart of the Sunrise are some of the most like distinctive drumming. Like it's a drum riff that he's doing, which
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
which is
Now-
something that's serving the song musically.
I'm trying to remember it in my head, and I was quickly trying to count it out, but I just couldn't figure it out. Is it a 12? Is it in fucking 4/4 but split into 7/8 and 5/8?
I don't
Or
know.
is it 7? It might be 7/8 4/8. I think. I don't know.
I wasn't counting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 11.
All right, well, if you're at home, keep count and let us know how many beats are in that song.
Yeah, if Jim is correct with his assessment, text yes to 662.
Just the 662. Just put it out there.
It'd be funny if somebody. It'd be funny if somebody did that and actually won something. Like it was actually like.
Oh, that would be so good.
More likely somebody like at the Amber Alert system is like, what the hell are they talking about?
Yes. Oh, it's terrible. Jim, what was your favorite track?
I am going to go with Starless.
Damn.
I really didn't. I'm trying not to double negative again here. There was nothing about this song I didn't like. I love the way it transitioned. I was a little worried when I saw the time, the timestamp of how fucking long it was, but it really didn't feel that long. Love the Mellotron work. Love like how a lot of the riffs are pretty minimalistic, and I love how everything fucking transitioned. It did like this crazy it went from like the minimalistic kind of like
It's like ballady.
tinkery kind of guitar riff, and then it went into like a stoner doom metal part, and then there was the syncopated guitar things, and then it jumped right into this like fucking jazz thing, and then it ended with and then it went from the jazz thing to like a fucking gent thing.
Yeah.
And then it ended with what could have been a theme to a James Bond movie. So I mean, it just had everything in there.
Yeah. So an interesting thing about that song, "Starless," is the record before this one was called "Starless in Bible Black," and this song was actually intended to be on it, but Fripp and Bruford weren't so much into it until they added those other sections.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love the journey that song takes.
Definitely takes you on a journey.
And it's one that I had not gotten into right away, but more like with more recent listens, I've been on a huge King Crimson kick in general recently anyway. And yeah, when coming back to this one, it's been super enjoyable to dig more into this song.
Strangely, I remember when I was going pirate happy, I downloaded the King.
That sounds like such a fucking euphemism.
Yeah, I
going
downloaded
RR.
I downloaded the King Crimson discography, and for some fucking reason, I gravitated to Thrack.
Oh yeah, their 1995 record.
How old were you?
22, 23.
That's reasonable, I think.
Thrack is pretty good.
I liked the dinosaur song.
That song is actually like that riff is like not terribly different from the Red riff, where it's like a whole it's like the whole tone scale and like very similar kind of like grungy sort of guitar tone.
And they suggest doing a fun dance to do the dinosaur in that song.
Yeah, do the dinosaur.
No, that's was not was.
Right.
Was in parentheses, not was.
Yeah, it was not was.
It wasn't wasn't.
It was King Crimson, not was.
Good God, that's not a joke.
No, that's nothing.
That's really nothing. Oh, Mike, what was your favorite track? You think?
I was also a big fan of track 3.
Oh, One More Red Nightmare.
Yeah, One More Red Nightmare. That was a great one.
Just amusing the virtues of cruising when altitude dropping, my ears started popping. One more red nightmare.
I really like the clap track.
Dude, yeah.
The clap track on it was actually like, I was joking at first, but when it came, the other part of it like actually like was cool, and like how out front of it, you never hear clap track that aggressively out front in the mix.
Yeah, that's the thing, and yeah, towards the end when they go into like the 3/4 part, it's actually like pretty sick, and it adds a lot to it.
And the fact that it's like drenched in chorus or flange too, just like really brings it home.
Yeah, it almost kind of makes it sound like fucking the snare sound on Low, on Bowie's Low album or something. It's this like really weird post rock.
I can imagine someone
edge
listening
to
to Low for the first time thinking like, all right, that's either an Eventide harmonizer doing that drum sound, or they got Wettin' and Fripp in there.
See their signature clap. What if they didn't actually have an effect
Holy
on
shit.
it?
Fripp was on some of those albums with Bowie.
Oh yeah.
So this is plausible.
Maybe it's
That hand clap could be on the Berlin trilogy.
He has some kind of weird echoey hands.
Yeah.
That's why he has to play in his chair, because his hands are so weird and heavy. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it would be cool if he actually created that chorus effect, but in real time with no effect on it.
He's like moving his hands past the
there we
microphone.
Yeah, like the dude from Aphex Twin, he did that with like a grand piano and just like had it swinging, but like had the microphone set up in such a way that it sounded like a Yamaha CP80 or something like that, just super chorused.
I guess if you had two directional microphones pointing at it and it swung between them, like
exactly.
the signal would change. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun, actually, if Robert Fripp just had like a lot of extra skin on his hands. So when he clapped, it just naturally sounded like that.
Extra skin Fripp. That's what they call him.
Yeah, it's available for a
Bobby
limited
extra
time from KFC.
No, I was gonna say that sounds like a fucking drink you can get at Friendly's.
Extra skin?
Extra skin Fripp. I mean, it'll take you fucking an hour and a half to get it, but you know.
It's got like
Well,
a
yeah,
layer.
are you finally coming around to my side that Friendly's has the worst fucking service of any restaurant?
I don't know. I'm not gonna go there and find out.
Have you ever been to a Friendly's?
Yeah, it's really gotten downhill in the past like 20 years. I remember in the 90s it was like
The
good.
place to be.
Interesting. But the service has always been real slow, right?
Have you been going to the one in Watertown?
I have been to the one in Watertown, but probably not for about 10 years.
Because like everything in that little part of Watertown is terrible.
Yeah. No, but yeah, just it's a Friendly's thing in general. I talked to a buddy of mine who actually worked at one, and he's like, yeah, it's because none of the employees give a shit. They're treated like shit, and they don't get paid.
No, that's 100% true, and yeah, you can just see it in their eyes, and I try to not even look at them when I go in there anymore. I just say, you know what this is.
I never want to look at someone handing me that many mozzarella sticks anyway. Can't make eye contact.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Just imagine Patrick going in there as a kid, and your parents are like, "Just look at the floor. Just look at the floor, Patrick. Don't even look up. Just look at the floor."
But can I look at the menu? Shut up! No, look at the floor.
It's covered in mashed popcorn. Oh wait, no, that's the ground round.
That's ground round. And what's the other one? 99.
99, and
Yeah,
there's
they'll popcorn you up.
Piccadilly Pub or something like.
Yeah, Piccadilly does popcorn.
Yeah, they do popcorn.
And
too.
actually, the pub around the corner from my house that I don't think Patrick's been there, but I know I brought Christopher there for lunch one time. They do popcorn.
Oh, yeah, that place. And then there's a place I've been telling you about, Grimsby's, the one in Melrose that's basically a ground round.
Oh, the Grimsby's. Yeah.
Yeah, Grimsby's.
That's right. That's a good word.
It is. It's very good.
It's very good. My favorite track, I was kind of tossing between one more Red Nightmare and the title track. I think I'm going to go with the title track. I love how it kicks things off. It probably, like, maybe in my early 20s when I first heard this record, and I was just super impressed at how fresh it sounded for a record that came out in 1974. Just in terms of, like, the like aggressiveness of the riffing, it was, you know, it had, like, it reminded me sort of early grunge, which I guess it sort of went on to influence, like, Nirvana quite a bit, this record in particular. But yeah, just I love how everybody comes in with, like, full throttle, all three guys just fucking like whatever they do best, they're bringing their A game. Like Fripp has this really gnarly guitar tone, Wetton is just like smashing with this fucking great bass tone, and Bill Bruford has this just super ringy, clangy sort of drum set that just, like, I don't know, it just all has, like, a really cool tone to it, and, like, for a record that came out at that time, it's super aggressive, and I think still sounds pretty fresh to this day, and yeah, just like how it starts out. Yeah,
no, it's a pretty good Bruford moment right off the top. Like, honestly, this listen for me was very fucking Bruford intense. Like, I've heard this record a bunch, but yeah, this is the first time I really just fucking sat there and listened to good old Bruce to see what he was bringing to the table. And yeah, especially on that song and One More Red Nightmare, he's not letting anyone down.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite drummers. Yeah, he's done great shit with both Yes and King Crimson, and yeah, he was in King Crimson like right up through, I think, maybe the 2013 or
yeah, because I know Gavin Harrison's planning for them now.
He was out before 2001, Bruford.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, but he more recently retired, I think, in 2013.
Yeah,
from music in general. But yeah, he's one of those drummers who just adds so much musically to a song. He's not looking to be like, he is like kind of an exhibitionist, but he does it in a way that's not taking away from the overall song. It adds, like, it fills out rhythm where it needs it and excitement where it needs it, and then he sort of sits back where he, doesn't necessarily need to be on top. Like, I forget what, it's one of the records from the 80s that he does, but he does this one beat that's, it's literally just, it's like kind of a bit of a weird backbeat, but it's just like kind of a kick, snare, crash, which like kind of sounds weird and not like a typical beat, but it just the way he lands each note, or I don't know, maybe just the way it's mixed, it adds so much yet with so little. Christopher, what was your least favorite song?
My least favorite was Fallen Angel. Like the odd man out on this album. It's a little ballady. Starless is too, but I think that they make up for that structure-wise later on in the song. Whereas Fallen Angel, I think, is just kind of like a weird little wettened ballad that they stretched out into 6 minutes and included on a Crimson album. I like it. I don't love it though.
Yeah, I actually do like that track quite a bit. But I would agree that the ballady parts aren't my favorite. I actually like where it kind of goes into that 3/4 part and it gets a little more intense. That guitar riff is that like electric guitar riff is pretty cool.
That is very
comes in
cool.
there.
Yes.
Jim.
Actually, they're we're doing least favorite, huh?
Sure are.
My least favorite was Providence. It just seemed like it was a bunch of wanking off, and
It was recorded in your backyard, man.
yeah, wanking off in my trailer.
Harking off in my cool shed.
That's a fun and topical joke. It's not at all 23 years old. Oh yeah. Yeah, all of our incel listeners, they definitely know.
Yeah, they love Beavis and Butthead.
I was gonna say
They
there's
take them literally.
there's no music more associated with virginity than prog rock, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's the music for frustrated males. We're got so much aggression, but we're not strong enough. We're just gonna
If you're
turn
an-
it on our guitars.
If you're listening in and you're an incel who likes prog rock, text yes to 667.
Get it? Yes, like the band.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but that's good.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Congratulations on doing that, getting that second full entendre out of that.
I do what I can. I add a lot to this podcast. That's why you guys still have me.
Definitely not a contractual obligation.
Mike, what was your least favorite, do you think?
Was Providence track 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not a big fan of track 4. The note that I said was I didn't care for the Danny Elfman opening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so there's like a good minute and a half of like just violin ambience or something.
Yeah, I mean, which can be cool. I mean, if you're in like a really long elevator ride, but I mean, I generally don't like that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, that makes 3 of us. Yeah, Providence is probably my least favorite too.
Damn.
And it's grown on me a little more with each listen, but it's very much like Starless and Bible Black, the record that came out before it. I think like half or maybe even like most of those tracks are recorded live, and they're similar, kind of just like improv nonsense. And yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more happening towards the end. It starts to kind of make sense towards the end of the song, but yeah, in general, it's the one that's the hardest for me to get into, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Christopher Brown.
Cool. Yes.
Christopher Brown.
What can I do for you?
I would like to ask you your MVP moments on King Crimson's Red.
It's going to be in Providence, actually.
Okay.
And
In
again,
the city.
Yes,
Is it-
physically in
Is it
Providence.
Harry's Burger Bar?
It's Todd
No,
Bowes.
it's
Todd Bowes.
it's Todd Bowes eating a hot dog at Olneyville's New York Station or whatever the hell it's called.
Nice.
That's my MVP
New York,
moment.
That's a great mental image. That makes me really happy.
what's it called? New York System, I think.
New York System. That's it. That's it.
Which I still haven't been to. I need to do that.
Yeah. Let me know if you ever go. I will go if we're down in your neck of the woods.
All right.
For sure.
Me, you, and Todd. We'll go to New York System.
Actually, we could take this offline, but I'll be working in Providence next week. So.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's great radio for all you out there. But no, my MVP
Christopher
moment's
Brown
gonna be
in Providence next week.
In Providence next week. Actually, technically Warwick. So if you really want to find me, that'll make it easier for you.
Yep, there's an airport right there, TF Green. Just take it.
Oh, and I'm
from across the country.
And I'm actually going to be very close to TF Green. So again, if you're looking to kill me, you're going to have an opportunity. They don't come like this, folks, every day. So be sure to take advantage of that. Yeah, in Providence, it was during the intro bit, which I agree was kind of a little overdone. But what I really liked was Bruford's really sneaky little entrances that he had here and there.
Oh, yeah.
They're just these tiny like little rototom bits, and like every now and then he'd hit like, I'm assuming it was him playing like the vibes or something too.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was just kind of like sneaking around, just doing all these little hits on things, and it just brought me a little bit of joy hearing Bruford having fun there.
Yeah, he does his little like sneaky beats too that kind of come in where like he's just doing the rim click and the John Wetton's noodling around on.
Yeah,
bass.
exactly. Yeah, so no, I really enjoyed that this time around.
Yeah, good shit. Jim, what was your MVP moment?
My MVP moment. In Fallen Angel, there are these acoustic guitar harmonics that I thought were very tastefully and beautifully done.
Of joy at the birth of a brother, never alone from that time. 16 years through night fights and danger, strangely why his life not mine.
The part you mean, that part was good. Really, with lots of layers there. That was good. It was like many guitar tracks all at the same time. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, so this record was kind of unique in that there was a lot more guitar overdubs than normal. I think in the past he had like other instrumentalists in the band, like a violinist or a sax player, or even just like layering with mellotron and stuff. And he had other people kind of covering those parts that would otherwise be filled by guitar, like frequency-wise. But this record in particular, he did a lot more in the way of overdubs. And yeah, not a lot of acoustic guitar on this record except for that moment, and it is very welcome.
Yeah, he was picking up some slack from David Cross, who was too weak a personality.
Yeah, what a dick thing to say. God, those prog rock guys are dicks. They're jerks.
Prog snobs.
Prog snobs. Mike, what was your MVP moment?
My MVP moment was in track 5, was after that ridiculous saxophone solo, the bass line. Right after that solo is great. It was like the grooviest part of the album. Everyone was tapping. It was great. The bass line was really comes in like strong.
Yeah.
So you're finally like, yes, finally. Ah.
Yeah, Wetton is he's fucking badass on this record. I love his bass tone and
Yeah.
it's just super snarly and it just feels like still super fresh and aggressive to this day. It's crazy that he would go on to be the frontman for Asia, which
Wow.
is like
We've been over this. It's pronounced Aja.
it's aha. Which Asia's just like to be it's like a lot wimpier, I guess, and more, adult oriented sort of stuff. But this feels like a dude he's fucking pissed off and he's got a song in his heart and it's coming through the bass.
It's like a thundering, galloping bass line.
I don't know why that phrase, like, they have a song in their heart, like, always funny to me.
It's always good. It's always good because that's all these boys have at the end of the day. I'm gonna go with the hand claps and one more Bread Nightmare. That is just such a cool little piece of production that is like, it was super simple, but like actually added like a lot and made like this record sound a bit more futurist than you know one would anticipate. Yeah, it was just like a really cool bit, and yeah, the going over the 6/8 part later in the song, it has this like really cool effect to it, and yeah, it's one of my favorite moments for sure. Christopher, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right.
All right.
What do you want from me? Comparable album.
Yeah, we're gonna do comparable albums. Christopher, you had a comparable album?
All right, I got one that sounds nothing like it, but when I first got this and got into this album, I was also listening nonstop to Drux by Aphex Twin, the double album that came out in the early aughts.
Speaking
there.
of Aphex Twin.
Speaking of, yes. That album I was listening to probably just as much as this. And actually, the album that we did for the most recent episode, as of when this goes out, The Man Machine. All three of those albums I was listening to a lot around the same time.
Wow.
Which I think kind of answers a lot of questions people might have about me. But yeah, no, those were a big three for me that particular summer. I actually remember driving down Main Street in Wakefield, fucking blaring all of them, like an asshole, like an asshole.
They deserved it.
And now you're that guy who's like, hey, turn that down.
Yeah, I come out of my house like wearing a bathrobe and like just underwear and like nothing else. Like we don't have newspapers anymore, but like I'm like, I don't know, waving like Smudge or something.
It was like whenever they showed the dad on Ren and Stimpy, when they would just show like
The knees.
the knees and stuff like that.
The later hosen.
Yeah, it was the later hose that he would wear. That's what I always picture too. That would be really nice. Jim.
My comparable album is going to be 1996 Signify by Porcupine Tree, solely for the fact that it's a prog rock album. I feel like that was kind of like Steven Wilson's turning point, where he kind of started honing his songwriting craft, but still had a little bit of weirdness to what he was doing.
Yeah, sure.
And I feel like maybe there's a little bit of that going on in this album.
Yeah, well, this was a
Red.
record. Yeah, for sure. The sound was a lot more honed than on and focused than on previous records, and it was a big turning point. Mike.
So I was thinking like tones wise, because I study signal processing. I'm a huge like gear hound. I'm always thinking about the mechanics of tone creation, and the guitar and bass tones on it reminded me a lot of Crack the Sky by Mastodon.
Okay,
Which they just
There's a
played
lot
in
of-
full at the Pavilion this past week.
I'm sure it sounded horrible live. They're one of my favorite bands, but they really just I've seen them live a bunch of times. It's really bad.
That sucks though.
But yeah, like a lot of those guitar tones with like this kind of like low mids kind of cut out to give it this like overall heaviness that I mean people didn't really do in the 70s, but kind of became more common in the 90s. Sounded really good on it, similar to what they do on Crack the Sky. And they also mix like a lot of leads with like single coils that kind of just like cut through and almost sound like this like country twang kind of given to the guitar.
Yeah.
Gives it a bit of a honk.
Yeah, and it kind of like makes you feel like you're not listening to metal so much, and then like it gets kind of more interesting.
Yeah, just brings in some different flavors.
Yeah, like anyone can use like the neck pickup of a Les Paul and like do that, but it all sounds the same. So.
Yeah. I for one, I really like the sound of like the gain turned down more, but then like putting the compressor way up, so you're just getting like that super. You're still getting that pearly tone, but it's like it has that compression on top of it to kind of even it out.
If you're running a compressor after distortion can give you some weird things. Like you can get just like it almost sounds like a artificially generated tone, but like you can bend it like a guitar.
Yeah.
Good shit. So my comparable album, I also had a couple. No, you know what? I'm actually just going to stick with one. And this one is also very strange. Sigur Ros's open and close parentheses. And the reason why I'm going to pick that one is while being two completely different genres, it kind of follows a similar format of like the songs at the beginning are like a little more, dare I say, like engaging and kind of more like asks more of your attention a little more, like that first side of open and close parentheses, and then like tracks five or the other side, like those like first three tracks, and then like maybe the beginning of the fourth track are kind of a little more unassuming and not a little more stark and but then it comes back at the end with this like really powerful ending that I guess I could compare to the end of Starless where it kind of takes that turn into different territory, really kind of brings up the energy towards the end of that record. And also I actually was listening to these two records a lot at the same time for some reason. I'd gotten into that Sigur Rós album like my senior year in high school, and then like went off to college, and like of course everyone else was fucking talking about Sigur Rós too, so it's sort of like emboldened my listening of that record, and I just also happened to download Red at the same time. And it was just kind of an interesting parallel that I drew between those two. All right, so let's rate this motherfucker.
Yeah, let's rate it.
Let's rate it. Let's throw it on the old rating block. Christopher, what do you got?
I am going to go ahead and give this a 9.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, I really fucking like
Huevo.
this record. It's one I've been listening to a lot through the years. Haven't listened to it in a hot minute though, and it was good to get reacquainted with an old buddy. I really like this album. Even Fallen Angel, like I was saying before, that's a song I like, I don't love. And I think that's really the only kind of weakish moment on the album for me. Other than that, I fucking love it all. It's a lot of fun to listen to, and if I have 40 minutes, I'm always happy to put it on. So yeah, 9.
Jim.
I'm gonna give it a 6 because I'm for all the prog rock drumming I do, I feel like I'm still like a novice when it comes to like prog rock history and like knowledge and stuff like that. So I came in on Rush's Counterparts, which was like 1993, when like production and stuff was like more, ironed out and a little cleaner. So I'm in like that prog vein where I went from like Rush to fucking Dream Theater and like Porcupine Tree, and then kind of started working my way back towards King Crimson and like Yes and like older Rush and stuff like that. So I think it's cool. I think Providence kind of knocks it down a peg just because it's just kind of an album where they're just kind of dicking off. I mean, song where they're just kind of dicking off. But I like the other 4 songs, but it's not pushing it up to that 7 for me.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And yeah, it's interesting that you brought up that your familiarity with prog is more in like kind of in the digital realm.
Right.
And I actually this is gonna sound just super fucking snobby or stupid or whatever, but
Strap in.
I genuinely think that prog belongs in analog realm. I like that it's a genre that sometimes like can be detached and like inhuman because it's like trying to be like like supersede normal humanity. But I think like with the analog production and just like not dealing on a grid, it sort of forces you to be human about it. And it kind of gives a similar quality that like stop motion animation does for me, I guess, if that makes any sense, where it's like it's something that's like super intricate, but like there's humanity to it because it's the methods of doing it aren't 100% perfect.
Right.
It's like there's something like intimate about using a record that's like that you don't really get using it. I mean, with any kind of music, you don't really get using like your computer, MP3 player, or whatever, or even like a CD. And then it's like, I think that's a good point. Like humanizing the prog really helps because like it's less like you're listening to something weird alone in your room on your computer. It's
Right.
like you're listening to something on vinyl. You're a normal person. It's art. It's not weird music. It's art.
Yeah. It's funny when we were actually when Todd and I were driving up to your wedding, Patrick. Todd was like, "Oh yeah, you got to sit next to Joel. He's like a huge prog guy. You guys can just talk prog all night." And I'm like, "Oh god, oh geez, like I don't know enough." Like,
Yeah, he starts talking to you about like Camel or Vandergraaf generator, and you just start sweating. Yeah, they're really cool. I like that one Vandergraaf generator with the all the guitar stuff.
Yeah, I totally-
They never had a guitar player.
Damn.
Jesus Christ, Mike. What do you think?
So I'd give side A a 9. So there's a lot of really good stuff on side A. I just really didn't care too much for anything on side B. So I guess like I give it like a weighted average of an 8.
Okay.
'Cause there's more tracks on side A.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, and I'd be inclined to agree with you that it's. I would be inclined to agree with you that it's a bit front loaded.
Yeah.
But and actually, in reality, I would give this an 8.5, but I know that's not allowed. I think it's definitely better than an 8, and it's maybe not quite enough there for me to say that it's a 9. But I'm just gonna round it up and say that it's a 9. I think objectively, it's an important prog rock record that managed to sort of influence things beyond prog rock. Like I kind of said earlier, where Kurt Cobain was a huge fan of this record, and I'm sure the boys in Slint were probably listening to this record for sure. Like I could kind of hear something in the note usage, note choices that they're probably taking cues from this record. And I think it's King Crimson's. It's my favorite King Crimson record. It's the first one that I got into, and it's. I've been on a big kind of King Crimson kick anyway. Recently, they actually just got added to Spotify, which is crazy. For years, it was like a big thing that Robert Fripp wouldn't put any of his shit on streaming. And then I went out and downloaded their discography, and then like a week later they made the announcement. Yeah, I randomly decided that one day I was gonna do a read through all like the big prog rock bands, just to say that, because I really never did much beyond Yes and Rush, and
yeah. See, I need to do that. Let's do it together, Patrick.
Yeah, so the King Crimson one was a lot of
team
fun.
effort.
And I've been doing Vandergraaf generator lately, which is super fucking satisfying. And I discovered I like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, which is really disappointing.
I was gonna try to listen to all of Zappa's records, but he has like fucking over 100 if you count the stuff like that.
That's like,
Yeah,
that's too much, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's similar to Tupac in that he made more music than he possibly could have while he was alive.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Are you saying that he might be still alive?
Oh, he's definitely alive.
Okay. Where's he living?
When you first get off of Storrow Drive, when you're going into Alston on Cambridge Street,
Oh,
you
he's
go
still
up
in
on that
America.
overpass. Oh yeah. When you go up on that overpass, and there's that giant concrete lot to your right.
He's local, no less.
Yeah. He's living near there.
Oh, sick. I wonder if he was there during like the 2015 blizzard. If he was living in one of those giant snow piles, that'd be pretty cool.
I would assume so because
Don't you eat that yellow snow?
To be
Yeah.
living
Take
out
his own
that way.
advice.
Yeah, exactly. To be living out that way, I feel like he'd have to be a hardy winter man. So I believe that he's learned to use the snow.
He's
Yeah.
pretty skinny.
I don't know. I
know.
thought he was a California
He's a
boy.
thin guy.
Well, he became a Northeast boy.
Did he?
Yeah.
He grew another layer of skin, actually, similar to Robert Fripp.
Actually,
Yeah.
his clap tracks are actually some of the best out there.
Yeah, fucking groovy.
Yeah,
Trippy.
he has Fripp hands all over his body now.
Nice.
It's not much to look at, but he
It's
stays warm.
like one of those toys you get with the hands, and you hit it back and forth, and it's like a clapper.
Oh god,
He just does that with his body.
That would be such a good urban legend for kids to tell, like not knowing who Frank Zappa is, just like, yeah, the mustache man with all the skin. You'll hear him clapping from half a mile away.
His mustache secreted an oil that thickened his palms.
Oh, good God.
So that gives us an even 8 on average. as
Yeah.
a score for this, which I think.
And I believe
right.
this may be something I mistakenly heard, but Patrick, will you be doing a DDD on King Crimson?
You did
Not yet. Maybe the next time. I think I'm gonna do Soundgarden, but I think actually
Nice.
after that I was gonna do a prog rock band, and I think I want to do King Crimson because
Nice.
I like more of their albums. I love Yes more, but they in general the King Crimson discography I'm pretty consistently happy with, whereas Yes takes a precipitous drop around 1987.
I used to look a lot like Kim Thale.
I could totally see that.
I used to have
Actually,
really long hair.
I could totally see that.
It was uncanny.
That's amazing. You should bring that back.
I might grow it back. It'd be gray now. I guess he has gray hair now, so it would match.
That'd be badass. Is he Filipino?
He's Indian,
He's Indian.
but he's like Indian American.
Yeah. Interesting. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks for
Anytime.
coming
It
out.
was
Yeah,
fun.
it's been a pleasure. Thanks for taking a listen with us. So what do you, Titans of Industry, you guys are taking a break right now.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a while, if at all, we come back. But check out Bongcoven.
Yeah.
that is such a wonderful name.
That is the 100% honest name of a Doom project I'm working on.
Yeah. Is that the one that you were doing at Brookline Porch Fest the other day?
Yeah, I was just like spewing it out. My neighbors eventually told me to shut up. it wasn't the Bongcoven music that was pissing them off. My friend actually took a video of it. I was playing the Beverly Hills Cop theme song on the guitar for like 10 minutes, just like dancing around in my backyard playing this theme song. The neighbors just started screaming, "Shut the fuck up!"
That's amazing.
Were you just playing the one riff too? over and over?
Just that one part. It was great. I have this great like synth patch for my guitar, so it sounds just like an 80s like new wave synth. It was perfect.
Very
Well,
good.
you live kind of near the Nita dispensary, right?
I do live near the Nita dispensary.
And
One of my
you
roommates
said that
works
you were
there.
like pointing the speakers towards them.
It's
Like,
good, yeah, because like the like
this way.
the waiting area for the people in line is like there's one property in between my house and theirs, and the like train tracks run right behind both, so you can like kind of see the people waiting in line. So I was like trying to blast them with music. They didn't really care.
yeah, they're just there getting their drugs, just like
Yeah, it's
everyone
like
else.
1,000 people in line, like at any given point in time.
I actually, it was pretty crowded when I went to the one in Hudson the other day, the the dispensary there, and yeah, you have to like take a shuttle from one location,
Yeah.
and it takes you like 7 minutes down the road or something like that.
Well,
And
if you ever-
it's so they can like reserve the spaces for medical users, I
Yeah.
guess, which makes sense.
Well, if you ever reserve at the one in Brookline, hit me up, because I work like right down the street, and I also live there, so
Oh, sick.
I'm always in that neighborhood.
Awesome, yeah. I went down there a couple weeks ago actually, and yeah, I like the inside of it. It kind of looks like
Yeah.
Gringotts, like
Well,
fucking Harry
yeah,
Potter.
they like didn't even remodel the bank.
Yeah.
Like, it's still got the stained glass. It's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Fucking sick. Cool. So yeah, check out Bongcoven. Bongcoven. And yeah, also check out Titans of Industry. They're on Spotify. I almost said Torchbear, but that's Knockover City. Time Bear is the name of your most recent EP.
Time Bear Awakening.
Time Bear Awakening. Yeah, sick. Good shit. Some good prog metal about a time traveling bear. Christopher, got anything cooking?
Nah, fuck no. On the last episode, I misspoke and said that it was going to be the last episode that we recorded here. However, this is going to be the last episode that we record at this physical location.
Wow. That's right.
Yeah, when we finish up, I'm going to start fucking pulling cables and wrapping them up and getting my Lego Death Star out of here and moving on to greener pastures.
Yeah, just fly it right on out here.
Yeah, just get the hell out of Dodge. Gonna fucking just get my car and go.
I'm just picturing you like pointing a gun at Danielle. I said, hop in. Death Star. Shit.
Everything comes back to a Simpsons reference.
Always, every time. It's part of being a 35-year-old in this particular time frame. Jim, what do you got?
Nothing.
Cool. Well, that's not true.
Nah, I'll just let you talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the thing that Patrick's about to talk about.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
Yeah.
June 22nd, come on up to Uncharted in Lowell and see my project, Smell, play
nice.
with Knockover City, Crowfeeder, and Artie Slang. And yeah, these two knuckleheads will be in the band as well. Jim playing drums and Christopher playing question mark. We don't know yet. We're gonna figure that out.
It's a
Shoot me an
surprise.
invite to that.
Text yes to 666 to find out what Christopher's gonna play.
Yeah, if you think that that I should not play an instrument but do some sort of adult but tasteful interpretive dance, text sex to your parents.
I have a cowbell that you can borrow.
Oh, actually, you have the whole cowbell stand.
I do. I have
Patrick has a
six.
stand.
I have a set of 6 acrylic cowbells.
That's pretty sweet.
Man, that was like 3 years ago. I quit my job at Whole Foods that I had been working at for like 11 years. Just kind of, I didn't even give him notice. I just told him I wasn't coming in anymore one day, and I cashed out my 401k and decided to buy a fuck ton of aux percussion. I didn't spend all 12 grand on it, but like at least like $300 or $400 worth of fucking aux percussion, including a set of acrylic cowbells. They're purple. They're
Awesome.
really cute.
Very good.
Very good. Cool. All right.
Also, I need to finish the drums for Todd before he stabs me.
Oh yes. For Todd.
Yeah, and actually, having seen Todd within the last week, I can confirm he could probably kick your ass at this point.
He could probably kick my ass even when he wasn't in good health. So I mean,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. He's looking good.
Yeah, no, I told him that as soon as I saw him. I'm like, Jesus, dude.
Damn boy.
Looking good.
I can barely get up the stairs without being out of breath. He could probably just blow me over at this point.
Yeah, and when I made plans with him last week, he's like, all right, that's okay. I guess I have to move my gym night. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I go 6 nights.
Yeah, he's out of. He keeps asking me to go. I'm like, dude, you're out of control. He's a gym rat now.
That's like the
It's not
only
a
way you
bad
can
thing.
do it though.
That's what happens when you hit your mid-30s. You either have to go to the gym all the time, or you end up being a horrible, out-of-shape piece of shit. Those are your two options.
That's exactly it.
Well,
That's
if you
really
if you look at the two fellas sitting against this wall, you'll see what's up.
My name.
I'm
is,
wearing loose-fitting shirts, so it's really 3.
My name is Jim. That's about as close as it gets.
Man.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cute. That's really good.
Yeah, that's fun. Wordplay.
Anything for Brett Buchanan this week?
Oh, actually, I haven't checked to see what our boy's up to. We can do a quick little check in.
let's do a quick Alternative Nation read, and then we'll wrap this up.
While I look this up, do you want to explain what we're doing here?
Yeah, so we do a little segment now on this show there's a publication online called Alternative Nation. I don't know if you've heard of it, but basically they're a news source, quote unquote, and really this guy just kind of has like super clickbaity article titles that you click on, and then it's revealed to you that like the story is really not much of a story at
Right.
all. You're just clicking on it and giving Brett Buchanan a fucking meal. So yeah, the Brett Buchanan is the name of the guy who does the majority of these articles. But yeah, just to give you an example that we've done in the past. What's an example? There was like the one where it was like Gavin Rossdale reveals like drug bombshell at Red Hot Chili Peppers concert.
What did he do? Admit that he doesn't do drugs?
No, what he did is said that first off, when they say Red Hot Chili Peppers show, they were referring to Woodstock '99.
A show that they both played at.
Yeah.
And the story was that Gavin Rossdale smoked weed before Bush played.
Yeah, I mean, shocker.
I liked the other Chili Peppers one too, where it was like Red Hot Chili Peppers reach out emotionally to John Frusciante. And like obviously that sounds like, is he suicidal? Like that sounds troubling. And the story was that they wished him a happy birthday on Instagram. So yeah, I've got some pretty classic Brett Buchanan right here. All right, I'm gonna do air quotes here for your benefit, and then I'll specify which word is quoted in it. Axl Rose dirty secret revealed by Guns N' Roses icon. That's Axl Rose, quote unquote, dirty secret revealed by Guns N' Roses icon.
That's very interesting. So
we're gonna
Yeah, let's
the thing?
round robin this.
All right, so
Oh, we're guessing what it is.
yeah, you're guessing
Okay.
what the actual meat
I
of this
see, I
story
see.
is. Jim, do you want to start it, or do you want? Well,
Let's
actually,
start,
Patrick.
I always start.
Yeah, Jim always
All
starts.
right, I'll start this. So that's interesting that you said Axl Rose, because I actually do know a dirty secret about Slash, which is that he used to shit himself at parties back in the day.
That's what happens when you do heroin.
No, this was actually before he was doing heroin. This was when he was like he was like 16 or 17, because he was super young when he started with Guns N' Roses. I think he was like 19 or some shit like that. But he was on the LA scene, just like fucking around, and yeah, he would go to like parties at Nikki Sixx's apartment or whatever, and like would shit himself. Anyway, we're not talking about Slash. We're talking about Axl Rose. So his dirty secret is revealed by. Sorry, read that one more time.
Axl Rose dirty secret revealed by Guns N' Roses icon.
Okay, so Duff McKagan recently revealed Axl Rose's infamous love of Taco Bell at the late time hours.
Okay, I mean that's a solid guess. I mean it's about as like informative as what's actually here. I applaud your optimism, but I will say that Duff McKagan, I think you're reaching for the stars a little bit in terms of Guns N' Roses
he died,
icons.
didn't he?
No, he's still with us.
Okay.
You got a guess?
All right. I'm gonna go with Axl Rose himself revealed that he does not bathe regularly.
Okay. It's incorrect, but I like that. Jim, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with one time Slash and Axl Rose were sharing a public restroom, and when Axl Rose was done taking a piss, he walked out of the restroom without washing his hands.
And who was the Guns N' Roses icon that revealed this?
Slash.
Slash. Okay. No, unfortunately, none of you got it quite right.
Are any of us remotely in the ballpark?
No.
Okay.
No, unfortunately. You were all shooting too high with what you consider to be a Guns N' Roses icon. Apparently, you and author Brett Buchanan have very different definitions of what that means.
Okay.
I'll just read the first paragraph of this because that's going to give you all you need to know about this. Guns N' Roses guitarist Richard Fortus recently discussed Axl Rose telling dirty jokes to his bandmates on stage.
Oh man, yeah. Hey guys,
This is how long the article is.
Wow. Does it quote the jokes?
It does not. Apparently,
hey guys, and then he was picking watermelons, and it was real funny because he's gonna put them in his butt.
so with the band's in-ear monitors, Axl has a channel that the audience hears and a channel where he can communicate with the band.
Man, he's really testing it.
Oh my god, that would be so annoying.
Sometimes while band members are performing solos, Axl will be telling dirty jokes to them.
Yeah. Can you please not? I'm like trying to use the monitor to tune right now.
I need to hear myself, Axl.
It's a really outdated joke, man. Come on.
We've moved as a society beyond that, man. Please don't say that again.
We've been touring for 29 years. Again with the damn jokes.
Those dead baby jokes aren't getting any better, dude. Come on. No matter how large the vessel containing the dead babies. All right. Well, that was another installment of Old Man Yell at Cloud.
Sure was.
Thanks for joining us. Check us out on check us out on all the places that you get your podcasts, and give us a good rating. Give us 5 or give us a 1 or the other. None of this 2 or 3 crap. That doesn't help.
Yeah, if you wish wash, you're a cop.
Yeah, absolutely. You're stupid. And yeah, check out some of the other shows on the Zero Science Network, like Jukebox Zeros, Nickelback, and Discography Deep Dive, all the good stuff. Yeah, and sure. That'll about do it today for this episode. I'm Patrick.
I'm Christopher.
I'm Jim, and we'll see you in hell.
Good night.
Zero Science.
Lils and Patrick are two local musicians from the New England area whose minimal accomplishments have left them thoroughly unqualified to judge bands and artists who have been more successful than they ever could be. And yet, their passion for bad music persists on Jukebox Zeros, the podcast that takes a retrospective look at the worst albums of all time. From The Shags to Attila, from Cyberpunk to Scream. If there's a band that has an album they're ashamed of, Lils and Patrick will be there. Share their love on Jukebox Zeros, now on the Zero Science Network, and wherever podcasts may be found.